what do you know about science? Are you interested in it? I think it's fascinating how scientific advancement changes our lives. But I must admit I'm not great at it, so I'm happy and grateful for all the scientists out there. In our next lesson, we'll talk about science and inventions. I promise it will be a very interesting one. So what's science? Tricky question. Science is everything. Science observes the world we live in and tries to understand it, constructing new ideas and theories to try to find the truth. But how do we create scientific knowledge? The process of science goes like this. First, we have a practical problem. For example, a new disease that's highly contagious and potentially dangerous. Yes, these days we all know what that is, unfortunately. So that practical problem needs a solution. How do we look for it? We do it by analysing the problem. Observation is a key element here. In the case of the new disease that I've just mentioned as an example, in this stage the scientists observe how the virus behaves, how it's transmitted, under which circumstances it gets stronger and what makes it weaker. With this information in their hands, scientists start developing theories and testing ideas. They test their ideas again and again, modifying them, expanding them and combining them until they find the solution they were looking for. For example, an effective vaccine against the new virus. This solution has enormous benefits in our societies and helps us improve our lives. On the other hand, the scientific knowledge generated in this process can help find solutions to other similar problems. So to sum it up, we can say that whether we understand it or not, we all need science in our lives. So what great scientific discoveries can you think of? Penicillin was a very important discovery, wasn't it? What would we do without antibiotics? Penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. And not only it saved many lives, but it also helped evolve all modern medicine. What about electricity? Can you imagine living with no electricity? Our lives would be dramatically different. Electricity changed the world. Modern technology relies on electricity, and its discovery also allowed scientists to find out that our brain and our nervous system work through electrical impulses. So we had electricity within ourselves without even knowing. Another life-changing event for humankind was the discovery of molecular structure of DNA. Thanks to this, scientists have been able to identify the causes of genetic disorders and manipulate the genome of animals to observe how it reacts. DNA profiling can also help solve criminal cases. Yes, I love grammar, but I have to admit that science is fascinating.
You probably know what a laboratory is, don't you? A laboratory is a room or building where scientists carry out scientific experiments and research. They can make drugs out of chemicals there, and they can also teach. As you can see, the word laboratory is quite long and difficult to pronounce. So in English, we often just say lab. Much easier, right? So if you ever need to pronounce this word in English, you can use the short form lab. It's a colloquial term, but it's perfectly correct. You're welcome.